Do you think you're going to learn more Bangla the more you grow up?
No.
So you only know English, Musa? That's all you know? That's it?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Do you understand Mum and Baba when they talk in Bangla? Can you speak back in Bangla?
Never.
Do you wish you could?
Obviously, I can.
Do you feel like you belong?
Yes. Since I'm born from my mom. Yeah.
If you could learn any language, what language would you choose?
Bengali.
Why would you choose Bengali?
That's the only language I really know. French, no, wouldn't be helpful that much. Spanish wouldn't be very helpful that much. Greek, no.
And why is Bengali more helpful than any other language?
If I go to Bengali test.
So why is it important that you're impressing your dad or your mom? Do you think they'll be more
Dad
impressed
and mum,
with you?
family.
Do you think they'll be more impressed with you if you could speak Bengali?
Geo.
Do you know how you learn English?
Huh? Spoon. Speaking. Then you learn the alphabet. Then the reception you learn it.
Do you think people who weren't born learning English find it easy to learn English?
No.
But why is it easy for you to learn it and not them?
Because I'm cool.
Innit Mum knows good English,
In it.
but she's not confident. And
Why
I
is she
think,
not confident?
Feel
The first
confident.
language wins.
yeah, so do you think Mum will ever feel confident?
Yes. Because she's my mum. My mum is confident.
So do you think people who aren't born learning a language can feel confident speaking that
Yes.
language after?
Yes, because I just said my mum is confident. Have you?
So do you think you'll ever be confident knowing Bengali?
Yes.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Where were you born?
In Barnet Memorial Hospital,
Where were you brought up?
in a house.
In what country?
England.
So what's your first language?
English.
Do you know any other languages?
I don't quite know any other languages, but I'm learning Spanish.
Do you have any languages you've learned from your family?
No, haven't learned it yet. I'm working on it.
What are you working on?
Bangladeshi. I'm not good.
Bengali.
That one.
Bangla.
I'm attempting to comprehend the language out of Bangla.
So how well do you know English compared to Bangla?
Like Bangla, like small, and like English, like wah.
So how confident are you with each language?
English. I'm extremely confident, however, there are some words and features that I cannot comprehend yet due to the fact that my brain hasn't been able to develop. However, in terms of Bangladeshi, I haven't attempted to use my resources wisely and able to learn the language of Bangla, but due to the fact that my family members speak it on a regular basis, enables me to learn as we speak. I speak English. People around me understand English, allowing me to develop the idea that I can be communicatable.
So how do you communicate with people who don't understand English?
Sign language.
Do you know sign language?
I'll try.
So how important is it to you that you keep up with your inherited language?
50-50.
Why is that?
Because you're stressing me out. Bangla is a language that not many people speak, so it would be incredibly helpful in later years. But and I have never met someone who has spoken Bangla other than close family members. So
Don't you want to be able to communicate with close family members then?
they understand me and I can understand them.
So is it difficult for you to learn Bangla?
Yeah, because brains.
Is it valuable to you?
It is extremely important to me and my well-being due to the fact that if the importance is stressed over a course of time, and if my family members cannot inherit the language that I have learned, how will my children be able to comprehend with their grandparents? If I have children.
Do you know any Bengali money?
Oh no. I can say, what's your name? Tomar naam kitha?
Kutta bacha. No, what does bacha mean?
child.
Child.
Okay.
My first language is English. It's the only language that I can speak fluently and confident. It's so much easier to learn a language when everyone in your surroundings is speaking that language.
No.
I can understand it, but like all of it. I can understand everything, but like it's like if I try to speak it back, my brain can't like connect the words to the English words, and I can't do it. I haven't ever like sat down and taught it properly. So
How do you feel that you don't know as much Bangla? Like you can understand it, but you can't.
speak it. I don't really care, to be honest. No, I only care when we go to Shalon's house because I feel very awkward because I can't speak to her. But in everyday life, I don't really mind because no one really speaks it. And I'm always like, I wish I knew a language, but I'd rather the language be like a modern foreign language, like French or Spanish. You know, like my parents' language. There's sentimental value to knowing it, and obviously I wish I spoke it. Probably should have learned to communicate more as a child. I'm too whitewashed.
But I feel like with language you can track down exactly where you came from, because
There's so many like dialects.
yeah, there's so many dialects, and you can trace your history.
Things would be very different if like a small thing of the past was changed. So I think it's important to recognize what brought you to the place that you're actually in. It makes me quite uncomfortable knowing that if I eventually have children, the only link they'll have to the language is not through me. I can't teach myself, so I can't teach them. It would be through like you or my parents.
Do you think you're ever going to go Bangladesh?
Probably not. Like I wouldn't even know how to act in Bangladesh. It would be like being a tourist because I just feel like I don't have a connection to the country.
Where do you feel like you belong then?
Not even England, just London. Not even London though, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's the only place I know. It's not the place. I don't have to explain. I know London, but I don't know
Yeah.
London, and I don't think I ever will, like most people
Yeah.
get to. Don't feel like I'm ever quite confident
Yeah.
speaking English, even though it's the only language
Yeah.
I speak.
Yeah.
But I don't know where my place is.
Bangladesh brought up Isla, so Bangla fulla language aslo nani.
Bangla asli.
You know, there's different Bangla like dialects. So Sylheti Bangla, and then there's like Dhakai Bangla.
Bangla.
But like there's
More Bangla.
yeah, there's
Chittagong,
lots of different ones.
Bobby
But you only know Sylhet. Do you know like a little bit of Dhaka?
I mean, understand how to Dhaka, but I'm not the farina.
Yeah.
Let's see what you have not tari. That's Arkachi farina.
Hindi to Rakhai the Geek, so.
Our friend is an Indian. So, but him da goraile, the betilago matalage. Bengali farina. But she speaks English. Sometimes English.
Yeah.
Then বেশিরভাগ বেটির কাছ থেকে লাভ লিখছি মাথা মাতি শিখতে বেটির লোকে লিখছি মোর দেন ইংলিশ থেকে ইন্ডিয়ান বেশি পারি লিখছি শি ইজ নাইস
Yeah.
শি ইজ হেল্পার
Yeah.
lot of things help করছে বেটার in my life amazing
Yeah.
she's a good person
So English ki learn thora aste aste so.
I mean like not much the last 6 months ওলা হান আমি ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ কলেজ করছিলাম তোরা লিখছি আর পর আমি যাইতেছি না পাতে 2015 এ যাইতেছিলাম বাট আমি গেলাম দেন so আমার ইংলিশ কা
तुम्हारे पास चंदो कैसे एक से
बच्चन तो कस्ता के लॉट ऑफ लिखছি
Yeah.
লাইক যে তখন আওয়ার পরে ono জাঙ্গি মামার লগে হিতম পারছি না তখন তোমরা লগে হিকছি তো তোমরা তো ওয়ার্ডও বাংলা বুঝো না কইতাম না এটা তোমরা ইংলিশে পড়া লাগে সো হিকিলিছি জাঙ্গি মামা মিলতো না তো তাহলে তো বরাবর থাকতো সানানো তো পারতাম না সো ইয়ে বাচ্চা তো লোক বেশি গেলিছি আর ওখানে গেলিছি আমার স্কুলের বাচ্চা তো লোকে গিয়ে 300 বাচ্চা 317 sometimes 20
You know, yai musa moni muchkan mona tikase retaro to beshi bangla jane na.
Muimano mashallah both tafare she's understand everything তাই বুঝে তাই ওই সেম থিং কথা হইতে পারে না তাই তোমরা সকলটিতে গীতাই বেশি বুঝে গেছো আর ইয়াহি মুসা এখন কিছু বোঝার চেষ্টা করে বাট ইয়াহি আমার ইয়াহিতে একবারে পারে না হ্যাঁ বাংলায় হওয়ার হইব তুমি লাফিং আর এখন আস্তে আস্তে আমার কাছে থাকি আর কি দেখবো না যারা দেশে
Yeah, but you know, Zalan Yahi Tara Sanana, so Tara is a past Tamisa, so Tara Poroya, Tara Family, Tara Pitu Fatamai, so language the Shashivilani.
Now, Tara Horbo, because one Tara to borrow was the understand Horbo, Tara language of Trazini. Every people, everyone, they have to Tara. Balafat Tara own language on for children Hikaya Tula Lagi, grow for a lagi, master for a lagi. So they have to try for the correct to. The Shamatara money is to Horon, that time I'm Marcono, I don't know. Tashin the idea, make Chaputana, because that time I'm Aslamna. Well, language you must speak in such a long time to get a food because this is your language. My medicine. Speak Kora. So we hold a table. Come Taratas in the morning. Flower nice. Everyone's like Kora Palafat. Flowers are fresh things. Nice loving manjavisa. Smiling eyes, smile eyes. Oh, look, it's nice flowers. Yeah. So it's I like.
Where were you born?
I'm born in Bangladesh. My home district is Sylhet.
How many years did you spend there for migrating?
I was there in almost 35 years to UK in 2002. And my education, my born, brought up, everything is in Bangladesh.
Bangla was your first language. Did you learn any English there?
We have a little literature, grammar, everything. In this way, we learned a little bit English, not very good.
What has been your learning process for English after you arrived at this country?
I did go some language courses and I gained some basic and I had to start work because of my family commitment here and there as well. By myself, I tried as much as I can.
So how confident would you say you are in English as your second language?
My education period, Bengali was my learning medium. I am not 100% confident, but yes, I can understand, I can speak. And in this country, the accent is different than the South Asia. So we sometimes struggle in this area. But yeah, I'm coping.
How meaningful is Bengali to you as your heritage language?
I prefer Bengali more than any other language, and it is deeply very and honestly very meaningful to me. Bengali is not a new language, almost 3,000 years old language, history behind it. Before 97, we all, South Asia, we all were Indian, but then in 1947 they separated from India to Pakistan. So in West Bengal, our side stays with Pakistan because of most of the people are Muslims and they wanted to separate. So, and West Pakistan is currently Pakistan. East Pakistan is currently Bangladesh. Most of the headquarters of the government stays in the current Pakistan. East Pakistani people, almost 100% people speak in Bengali. West Pakistani people, they speak in Urdu. They wanted the Urdu will be only the state language. We wanted our language, Bengali, to be one of the national language. Language quarrel started in 1948. We fight for our right. Eventually, when these things happened, we found that we cannot stay with them for the long period of time. We had a 9-month liberation war against them. In 1971, we finally separate nation and we are proud to be a Bangladeshi.
The language Bangla was instrumental in gaining independence of Bangladesh.
Yeah, we can say this is their first steps and the major steps as well. UNESCO is one of the authority of world's languages and only the Bengali language in this world, the people died for the language. They recognize this is in 1999. This day is the World Language Day.
Your children, do you feel like you taught them Bangla properly and they will maintain it and they know it well enough to maintain it and pass it on to their future kids?
My children, when they speak English, they feel more comfortable. When they by themselves, at the home or outside, they always find the English speaker people. They don't find the Bengali speakers people. And it is for the cultural perspective of view and the ethnicity to keep that or pass on to the next generation that we have Bengali. I couldn't take my children to Bangladesh more often because of my very limited income. My children are not very interested about the Bangladesh. That's why I didn't go to the Bangladesh for a long time, like after 17 years.
I think the key difference between families who have been able to help their children learn Bengali better, they grew up in the East End, Tower Hamlets, Whitechapel, that area. It's very South Asian, Bengali populated.
Yeah.
So if your community and your surroundings is of that language, it's easier to learn it as a child growing up.
These are
While-
main reason the Eastern people can speak Bengali more better than
Yeah.
us.